To shoot for the first time here. Well, for the first time that you guys are seeing, but just so I don't have to make multiple trips down the driveway, down over there. I stuff everything that I need to bring down, like recycling, garbage, targets in the back, bows in here, release, all that stuff, tripod for the camera, all in one run. Multitasking, multi-something. Whew. I'm out of shape. I am out of shape. Alright guys, so I bought a compound bow. So I'm absolutely brand new to archery, and I don't know how close I am to the camera here. And the idea in the beginning was to supplement target archery for competition shooting, because there's not a lot of competition shooting to be had in the state of Vermont, so where I now currently live. So I went ahead, and I've never shot a bow or any archery anything in my entire life. So I bought a Matthews Vertix. It's pretty sweet, huh? Looks pretty sweet. It was recommended to me by a few people, so I said, let's try it out. So I bought it used, and I picked up a used drop away rest there, QAD. I think it's an older model. Oh, and then my release. It's a True Fire. I'm not sure the specific make or model, excuse me, but it seems to work pretty good. It's kind of like reminiscent of a decent like rifle trigger, but a little lighter. And then bow specs are, I have a 28-inch draw with 65-pound mods, and I believe it's 85% let off, if I remember correctly. I've shot maybe total 100 arrows. Oh yeah, and then I bought the bow came with like this really, I don't know much about sights, but I know that the sight that came on it was pretty crappy. I'm not a big fan of the multiple pins in the housing. It's just too busy for me. Coming from the competition shooting background, I like the idea of a single pin, so I got this Spot Hog Hogfather, and it seems pretty cool. I mean, it was better be pretty cool. It was kind of expensive, and that's how the bow is set up right now. And I had it tuned. It's tuned for me. The only issue I'm having is the peep tends to be kind of rotating after like 3 or 4 shots, but I think it might be because of the cold weather. Could be wrong about that. I'm kind of new. So anyways, I've shot maybe total 100 arrows through this, and what I wanted to do is do John Dudleys' School of Nock, and I'm gonna start week 1. I've actually in all honesty done this a couple of days now, so this will be like my 4th day doing week 1. And this is his original School of Nock, not the new one that he just started. This is the 10 rounds of 4 arrows, and I did skip ahead a little bit and looked at grip and stance, and anchor point, and shooting with 2 eyes open. Believe it or not, I've actually had a hard time shooting with 2 eyes open, but the idea is to be ready for turkey season come May 1st. It's the end of February right now, so I'm hoping, all things considered, with practice and all that I'll be ready for turkey season. I can shoot a couple of turkeys, 2 to be exact. That's all you can shoot. So that is it. You get to watch me shoot a few groups. If I have a decent group, maybe I'll show it. I'll probably show the bad ones too. But have fun watching. This is week 1, School of Nock, season 1, I guess is what you call it. So I forgot to mention the arrows I'm shooting. So I had these arrows cut And this was something I bought the arrows before I bought the bow. And I told the guy, originally I just wanted to shoot target archery, but I'm kind of thinking about hunting. So he made up a batch of Easton carbon hex arrows. They got a 330 spine, 7.9 grains per inch. It's got the factory fletches on it, Easton H Knocks from the factory, and then a glued in field tip, which is kind of going to be a pain to get out if I can remove these. That's a good question. Can you remove glued in field tip safely without damaging the shaft? That's a question, if anybody can answer for me. But that's my arrow, that's what I'm shooting. I've already destroyed one, and I'm sure I'll destroy another today. My peep keeps rotating, like I said, so I'm gonna have to twist it again. Alright, so I promise I didn't just shove these arrows in here, even though it's not a very good group. But I must have whacked the sight or something, because it was pretty off. I was putting arrows like pretty high, like this was one. These were up kind of way up there. So this is pretty darn close. This was my first shot, and it's interesting, I went up. It was 1, 2, 3 up, and then this was my fourth, which is all me. And what I've noticed is if I forget about my bow arm and where I have my hand on the riser, I will throw a shot. And so I think that's what happened here. So I'll keep going. That'll be round 1 of 10. We'll see what happens. Okay, so it's just really kind of amazing, that fourth shot. So there's, you know, a 2.5, 3-inch group. This is all at 20 yards. And the fourth shot is just always a struggle. It's amazing how much of a struggle that fourth shot is for me. We're gonna keep hammering. We're gonna keep trying here and see how it goes. She's right up there. And the target was sitting right there. And now she's talking to another dude. Come on, folks. Yeah, it's just enough so that makes me a little uncomfortable shooting in that direction. So, you know, but they're chit-chatting. Sunday chit-chat.